Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X. I'm way later than I normally start. Way later. Uh, what does it say? Yes. Um, I normally start around, 9 or 10 in the morning when I stream, but I actually couldn't fall asleep last night for no apparent reason and just laid in bed, looked at my phone till like fucking 5 a.m. and then finally fell asleep, woke up around noon. So it was like a half hour ago. I feel like I'm half asleep still. I usually stream this on the weekends. This is a 2D 4X open source video game made in Godot .Net, which is the C# version of Godot. And I've been working on it for a while now. I guess this is episode 185. Very, very far along. I feel when I look at the number of episodes, I feel like I haven't accomplished much, but I have. I've learned a lot too. I hope, maybe. So what we've been working on is the past little bit here is this panel right here, which is like a panel that is inside the game under county improvements. These are improvements that you can make in the county to produce things. Converted warehouse produces storage. This produces, fish. It's a fisher shed, but these are all test things. So none of this is, this requires canned food to be implemented. But so yesterday I was working on something, and then I rewrote how we did something, and it made me. I was thinking about it last night when I couldn't sleep, and I actually want to look at something on GitHub. So let's go to my GitHub. I guess I have it open here. I have a project for this whole thing, and we are on the scouting equipment branch, and I wanted to look at. I was just thinking, I could do this in Visual Studio somehow. I pushed the code yesterday, though. I don't think this is going to have what I wanted. What was I looking? Well, let's look and see. I don't use GitHub. I'm not like a master of GitHub. I'm a beginner in GitHub, too. So this is going to be under county improvement. What do I need to look at here? This is the banker. So this is a public class that I have over here called banker. I was curious. I think I took it out already at this point since I pushed this, but I could look at probably main. No, main wouldn't have this. Main might have it. So there was something I took out yesterday, and I was thinking about it when I was trying to fall asleep. And I was like, I think I shouldn't have taken that out, but I guess we'll just find out. It was doing a check. Here, we can recreate it with my brain here. Because I actually can't remember exactly where it was either. Maybe it wasn't even really a thing because I was like half asleep. Well, not even half, 1/4 asleep. Let's see. Increase research amounts with bonus. No. Generate scavenge resources with skill check. So it was here, which if we how to get to here is we go to here. I feel like I have a stuffy nose too because I just woke up. Then we did work per person. And this had a check. See, so I wrote all this code. Maybe it's even in here still. This is old code that I think we're gonna. No, this is like code I mostly wrote yesterday, and then there was more code that I took over, like that I overwrote. Shouldn't learning check be in generate work amount with skill check? I think I took it out of there. So when your population that's doing the work can learn, So there's this stupid thing that keeps appearing. Don't show again. What is this? Dismiss. On Twitch. All right. I'm like still I haven't fully woken up. Maybe somebody will show up in chat and I'll just yammer on for a while, have a big long conversation about something unrelated to anything. I do that sometimes. 2 days in a row, that coffee I got at the coffee shop was all fucked up. It's like my one enjoyment. What are we doing here? So this is all we're basically doing, a skill check to see how much work they're generating, and it's going to go through every single person. On the county improvement, we're going to add this all together to daily work amount completed. So the county improvement's now going to know how much work is completed in the day. And so after that, we're going to go to calculate work to goods production. And this is the part that we like stop working because I ran out of time yesterday. So this needs to go through in the county data, all of the complete county improvements. This, I think, is where I wanted to. Yeah, I think this is where I would check, replace the thing I was talking about that I deleted. So I was doing it with a test, though. So one of the things it dawned on me yesterday was that I don't think we need an actual dictionary. We just need a list of their production. So I made we go over here. It wasn't here. Where was that? That's under county improvements. I made this. I think I was using Garden as my test thing this time. I have a test list. Except there's nothing in my test county resource list. I put something here yesterday. This is outputs. That's right. I put something here yesterday. It's not here. I put vegetables. That's concerning. And then add element. Maybe I didn't add the element. No, that's the dictionary. We don't want that. We wanted it right here. We want to do it on this test here. Maybe I didn't add wait. It said there was one here. It's already right there. Jesus Christ. No, wait. That's the one I just put in. I don't know. I could look back. We'll put this here. Add element. Size 1. There we go. Save. Was that there? I don't know. Like I said, half asleep. I couldn't remember basic math this morning. Oh, my calculator thing is no, but well, I guess it is a little bit. Thought it was still here. The most basic of maths. I couldn't remember how it worked. It's gonna be a great stream today. So, what are we doing? So for each county improvement data, in county data dot completed county improvements. So it's only going to be the completed county improvements that we're going to check here. And for those, we're going to do a check on if they're, right now we're just doing the test county thing. Count is greater than 0. I forgot an important part of this. So if this is greater than 0, I don't think we have a check on here. Wait, how did we do this? For each county improvement, we need a check in here. I think we can put a question mark right here. I guess that would be wrong. I'm still figuring out the question mark thing. It should be really, really simple. If, like, it is very simple, but I'm just, whatever. It's not equal to null. I'm going to ask ChatGPT this question because one day I'll figure this shit out. And we're going to say ChatGPT, can you make this better? And it's going to put a question mark somewhere because it's very short. It should be. Okay, that was not at all what I expected it to do. Okay. That, get this fucking, I told Chappie to GTP to never use var in my presence, but it always forgets. Is this better? I'm gonna ask it. I mean, the return's nice. That will make it so that it, yes, this is indeed better. Okay. All right. I mean, it won't go through the rest. Let's put this here. I don't know if I agree with it. It's like about the, wait, did it say apply? Work per person? Can't just rename shit, man. Apply daily work. Okay, but now you've busted something else here. Like, this is kind of nice. I don't see this is null bullshit very frequently or at all. Early return by exiting immediately if is null, it eliminates the need for nesting and focusing the function on. Okay. I don't know why you want this to be called this, but we can do that. It's fine. Applied work, sure. Whoa. Apply daily work. There we go. Apply daily work. I think I like the name. I'm very picky about my work per person. I think I like a apply work per person. And we can't click through here, but I have the banker up over here. Okay, that isn't what I thought I was gonna do, but it's fine. This will get out of there. Oh, we need to get this fucking var out of here. As an int. And yes, it does. Thank you. All right. In slow brain mode today. This usually happens on Saturdays where I gotta get warmed up. But I guess today is the day because of my late sleeping in. We'll delete that shit in a second, probably. This was down here. Subtract work amount from resource. I don't think we're using that anymore. That was an idea that I've. This is some basic fucking math that I'm doing here. And for some reason, it's like my brain can't wrap around it lately. I think this shit was at the bottom. I don't like that. Where the fuck did I just put that? Charge for the building. Here it is right here. Okay, so if county improvement data dot test county, because we're just doing this test for right now, is greater than 0, is equal to, is less than or equal to 0. That's not the things I want. We can just return. Right? No, that's not gonna work. We'll ask ChatGPT again. We'll later it. Okay. So then they should go through a list of completed county improvements and do the math to generate the goods they generate to do the math to generate the goods they generate. Okay. And I actually asked it earlier because I was like I said, I couldn't do the most basic of math here. I was like, so we're gonna use this to a point. This is gonna go away. We need the number of things built. So if this list is, so if the the list is greater than 0. We need to for each through this. For each of the items in here, which should be a county resource data in county improvement data dot test resources. And we'll change this once if this works with just a list. I had a dictionary. I don't think I need the dictionary. Okay, so then for each of these, we need another check though, because I don't want it to waste its time doing stuff here. So for each one of these, if the county resource data, we need to check for, there's a couple of different things we need to check here. We need to see, because there's different types of county resources, some of them don't produce anything. Some of them have different amount of workers, some of them have like research. And this is where I had like that thing I was worried about that I deleted was we need to have, so what's something that we can look at here to, so we can have a county resource type, we could check against that, but, oh, we're right here. Like this storage is something we don't care about. Storage is something we don't care about for the county resource type, so, or none. I needed this for some reason, but I can't remember why. I should have put a note in there. So what's something else we can check for? We could just put a bool in here too if we had to. I'm kind of not into that, putting bools and things just for one check. And then a human would have to, you know, check it. Work cost leftover. This is what we're going to be using somewhat today. Perishable faction resource type. So the only thing do we have, what are we checking here? We can check against the county improvement as well. Up there, we could skip it if it's, so let's go to like our converted warehouse. We have a lot of shit on the county improvements. Well, it's gonna have 0. Let's look at this thing. This is a good way to look at it. So the things that we're trying to figure out is this number, basically, these numbers. No, wait, sorry. Goods produced is what we're trying to figure out here. Because there might be multiple, just like this Fisher shed has. But this has non-perishable storage, which is not a real, it's non-tangible. And so non-tangible stuff you can't produce, so it's not, this thing that we're doing right now doesn't matter, except I think we want to do research that way. I was thinking about it later, once again, when I couldn't fall asleep. I think we want research, even though it's non-tangible, to be an amount of work generated, and then that's like converted. The cost would be 1, and it would just do the math with this same thing. So the one thing we're not going to be doing is this converted with the few, we only have a couple of resources in the game right now. And that's kind of part of it, you know, is we only have a couple of test resources. We're going to start adding some more in as we go along. As we're doing all of these changes just for the scouting equipment workshop, but once the scouting equipment workshop is done, we'll have the foundation to add other things. Slay, how's it going? You should write one. It's it's a lot of work, but you should write one. What type of 4X games are you into? You can't? Well, I started just one day, just started working on it. I did try some other games first that were way more, well, okay, that's not true. They weren't way more complicated. They were way different. Some 3D stuff, and it was all very hard. Sid Meier stuff? Yeah. Yeah. You know what I was looking at recently was his old Civil War game. I wish that thing was like re-released and updated because that thing was pretty good. So, trying to think. I think if they have no mass workers, they don't have. Yeah. That's the thing we can check. Um, is we can check against for each county improvements if this is greater than 0 and county improvement data. I'm just learning as I am going. Slay. So occasionally people come in to chat and they're like, "You're not doing that right." So I guess the point is that you just got to soldier on, and learn as you go. I think this is a topic that comes up occasionally in chat too, is that can anyone learn programming? And I'm in the opinion that 99.9% of people can. There are a few people that just can't, but most people, it's just more difficult for some people. So if this is max workers is greater than 0, so if this count is there and this is there anything that doesn't? I'm thinking here that any county improvement that doesn't have an output good, I don't think that's. I mean, right now they won't, but I guess we'll need that in there. Yeah, I watched a video about, speaking of Sid Meier's, the most prolific cheater in Civ, and I guess some guy's been cheating for years, and they just caught him recently, and they have some sort of ranked league. I didn't even know that this existed for Civ. Yes, the AI is going to be definitely a problem for me, and I think it's a problem for a ton of games because a lot of the times they get around stuff. They just make the AI cheat, and I really don't want to do that. I think about like CK3. They say that AI doesn't cheat in that game. I don't know if that's true or not, but Paradox, I guess one of their things is they don't want to have the AI cheating. But CK3 is so fucking easy. Like there's a point where you're gonna have to have the AI cheat, but I think that's it's a weird thing that if we're always gonna be just stomping all over the AI, then that's gonna be a problem later in my game too. I don't know. That's something that we're gonna have to figure out. I'm hoping that I can do it without it cheating. Because I really hate that. Like Civ, that happens a lot. At least they used to. I haven't played a Civ game, the newest one, but it used to be, like you would have the place surrounded and they'd just be popping out troops, and you're like, how the fuck are they affording this shit? Let's see. So then for each one of these, we're going to need an int called items built. We're going to use this chat GPT shit down here. And we're going to divide this. Why do you have a problem with this? Oh, because this is down here? That's fine. Then we're going to have, we already have the amount of work done. So we're going to go county resource data. No, we're not. We're going to go county improvement data. Amount what did I call this? Work amount, work for each resource. Shit, I forgot to divide this by the number of resources. We can do that right now. So first we're going to have to copy this. And we're going to go county improvement data, work for each resource equals divided by, and we're not going to care about the remainder on this one. It'll just be whatever. And we'll go down to here. And have you ever played Dominions? I wonder if the AI cheats in that. I feel like they must, but maybe they don't. I'm curious now. Does the AI cheat? It gets bonus, so at the higher difficulty levels, it gets bonuses that you don't. That said, the AI is poor at scripting. It doesn't handle combat magic very well at all. Oh, it's talking about in Dominions you can set up your like spells. I think that's what it's talking about. Or Mount Nomad is talking. Regards to resources as follows. Oh, what? I usually play it like the normal difficulty. Do I? No, I think I play it difficult. Or mighty. I don't ever do the really, I think I play it difficult. It has a different name though. They also get bonuses to other stuff. Huh. Oh, they get bonuses to their pretender creation too? Crazy. Well, good to know. Let's put a note in what the hell this is doing. Divide the number of resources. Nope, goods. We're saying goods now. Number of goods. The improvement generates by the work amount. Ignore the remainder. And then items built, we're gonna do this. I guess I could have just kept typing over here. And no, we don't want that. We want work done divided by county resource data. This isn't actually in the county resource data. This is gonna be in this is gonna be in now this is the wrong spot. We can put this up here so that it doesn't do this every time. For each resource. So this is just gonna do it once. And then assign it to this thing. And this is the number we're gonna use down here. And then we're gonna go I'm missing something here. I guess I'll finish this line of code. Cost per item is going to be county improvement data. So I don't think we're actually using the county resource data for anything because it's all about the county improvement. Did I put a cost in here? Cost per item. Let's look at vegetables since that's the one we're doing. Work cost. Oh, I guess I did do it in the county. Okay. But the work cost, so that's going to be a flat fee that's based by the resource. I think we might want to move that around at some point, like now maybe. Work cost. Work left over, though, shouldn't be under the resource. I don't think. We got another problem, too. I'm going to make a note of this. We got to make sure the resource data is getting duplicated and not copied to, if we're doing it this way, to the county improvements data. They have a unique copy. I think it's not done that way. It's just like a reference right now. So what's going to happen is if we change one, they'll all change. Let's put this way up on the list here. And then we're going to do this here. I don't think we want to do this way. But that means we would start at the county improvement level. The cost of a resource would be at the county improvement level, which actually kind of makes sense because, okay, so you got different types of county improvements. So this particular thing that we've been fucking around with here is the garden. You know, it's like a primitive garden. It's not like a greenhouse with shit. That would be like an upgraded resource, some research that you could do to get a better garden Mark II or whatever. So the cost of the vegetables would go down because it would be more efficient. So I think we actually. So how the fuck would we do this? We wouldn't care. Yeah. So we wouldn't care. So we might need a dictionary, but the dictionary would be cost, the work cost. Because then you also could have it generate different amounts. So like with this our weird test example over here of, let's go back up to our Fisher's shed, which is not producing the things that it's supposed to be producing, but we just threw some items in here because you're not going to get wood from a Fisher's shed or money. Then we could have a different, if we made this a dictionary, we would make this so that the cost would be here. Currently, this is a dictionary where it is this amount. It's the amount. So we would put the cost in here. So we do need a dictionary, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and this would be cost. And we wouldn't need to make this a unique. We wouldn't need to make this county resources unique. We would go through the dictionary and we would get the cost. Man, that seems really error prone because a human's going to have to type in the cost, but that's how it's going to have to be. All right, so let's redo this whole thing. Let's redo this whole dictionary. Let's go to here. And this was my test one to see, because we were just trying with a list. Yeah, so let's see. We can use this one. County output goods was our original dictionary. And instead of it will be the cost. We're going to have to go rename that though. I don't remember where my county resources are. I guess we don't really ever have the name of that thing anywhere. We're going to have to put a note on this is what we're going to have to do. cost, work amount cost. We could put the cost in here. No, because it's gonna be different. Okay, so I think that's what we're doing. We got it. So we're gonna change this thing, that this test. We're gonna stop using this test thing here. We'll comment it out. That way we'll get a bunch of errors and it will tell us which things we've done wrong. And we'll use this dictionary after all. This output goods, and then once we get this one working, then we'll just add in the faction output goods, which shouldn't be that hard to do once we have one working. So this is gonna be calculate work to goods production. So this is now going to be accounts of county output goods. And this is going to be county output goods. We haven't really used this very much. This shit is not going to be here at all. I mean, this is going to be up here. But we're not checking against the county resource at all because we don't, I don't know. I hit insert instead of delete here. This is going to be, we need a for each here. So we didn't need that thing, but it's different. Key value pair. I'm finally getting this shit into my head. Yeah. That's what we want. For each key value pair in county improvement data, county output goods. And then this will be up here. We take the work amount for each resource. Work amount is this thing up here. So we have, that's right. But then on here, we're going to do key value pair. And this is going to be the value here. And this is going to say, oh, let's KD this shit though. Take calculate the number of items built using the dictionary work cost, work amount. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense to future me. We can get rid of this shit. And then we need this leftover. And this is actually going to go to the county improvement. Yeah. So our dictionary needs to have another thing in it. We're going to have to do a public class. So it's going to be a dictionary of public classes. I don't know if Godot's dictionaries can handle that, but we're going to find out, I guess. Because we need to keep the leftover work for the next. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is so that we can have these, like, we can either produce a bunch of things in a day or one thing in a day, or it takes multiple days to get shit done. Which actually, this isn't going to work either. But, well, this is on the way to what we're trying to do here. We'll get one part working, then we'll go to the next step. Like, so the first thing we'll get working is the multiples. So you can produce, whatever, 5 vegetables a day. And then once that's working, then we'll get, it takes 5 days to produce whatever. But that's also going to mean the progress bar at the top isn't going to work, right? So I'm going to make a note of that. 2 progress bar working for multiple per day resource goods generation. Good God. Clicking on all sorts of shit here. Up. Yeah, so I think we're going to need a public class right here. that this will be a dictionary of so the dictionary will have a list of by county resource, the cost, and the leftover work. We could put that on the county resource data. That's what I was kind of doing that's what I was just like, oh, we need another dictionary of this. And that's what I was typing in here. Was this stuff. We could put it here, and then we could go back to just the list. I wonder which is better, which is faster. So we would put the work, but the work cost is going to change depending. Man, I need to blow my nose. The work cost is going to change depending on the county improvement. So the county improvement is going to be the thing that controls the work cost. So if it's, a primitive one, like I was saying earlier, if it's a primitive one, if it's a primitive one, then it costs less. Or we could just put it in here, and the work cost would be, actually the work cost could be here, and we could, let's build this. It's going in circles here. You done? Garden. This is not, so I commented it out. Do this again here. Oh, I don't need to play it. We're gonna get all sorts of bugs. I got shit half written here. I guess we aren't gonna get all sorts of bugs. Okay, so add this element on here. Bring over the vegetables. We click on here, and we put the work cost in there. We go through the banker goes through each one of those things. This is back to this just being a list. And it calculates it on that. So if we do it this way, we can just make it a list, and we would have to make this unique, which isn't the end of the world, I don't think. Yeah, we can just right click on this. We also could copy it. When we make a county resource, we copy it over, and it also makes it unique, I think. We're gonna have to somehow test that shit. It's gonna be kind of hard to test. Not that hard, but all right, back to what we were doing then. Back to our original thing that I just had 45 minutes of time. Okay, back to this thing. We're gonna go if this county improvement, no, we're gonna go test whatever, count. Let's move this down here so I don't have to keep going over there. Max workers is greater than 0. That's still the same. We divide. So here's the problem. Work amount for each resource. We need to add this. No, we don't. Not yet. This doesn't apply, actually. Yeah, we do need to change this. So let's go to our county improvements, or county resource data. And we need to save this in here. Yeah, each resource needs to have that saved. We're pulling this from that other part of the code where it's being saved. I guess this actually is fine where that is. And then we're going to go back through this as if it was a list once again. No, it was county resource. It was right there. So we have our test resource list. So for each county thing, we're going to go work amount. County improvement data. Then this goes. If I could type here. Work cost. I think I got something backwards here. Cost per item work done. What if, I was saying earlier, basic math is eluding me today and yesterday. What if the work done is less than cost per item? See, we need a if else in there. It usually doesn't do too many if else's. If items built equals 0, this is gonna have to be a plus equals. So, calculate the number of items built using the dictionary work amount and so we have the items built. This should be saved to somewhere. Well, let's see. Let's fix this thing. Calculate the number of items built. We'll just put that. That's fine. So we'll know that we need the leftover work, actually. Let's put this up here. Oh, look, it didn't have its leftover. One word. Work done. And this is going to kick us back a remainder. And then this thing's going to be going over here. So I should copy this. And get rid of this shit. And then this. So now we have the items built and the leftover work. Now we need to do something with these numbers. It kind of all would be easier if I just had another public class for this type of stuff. Which is why I keep switching back and forth between the test list and the dictionary. I don't remember how we're generating that dictionary. How we're just dragging and dropping over and typing in the numbers. because then we're gonna need items built for a brief period of time. I guess we should put in this other code here, this if then thing, or if else. We're gonna need a couple of things to move around here. Let's have that straight up there. Oh my god, I'm like clicking shit wrong. Come on. Brain is just not working today. Oh, it doesn't know that we're for eaching this shit. This should be up here. And this should be here. And this should be up here. We're going to do something with those numbers, though. And this should be here. And then it doesn't know what this shit is because that's this. And then it's cost per item. Oh, we need this over here, too. Okay. That seems right there. All right. I notice lately I say all right all the time. What is your problem here? All right. Yeah, I just did it again. Okay. No. I guess like it is. It's one of those. What do they call those? Filler words. This has to be all of these we need to do something with, and that's the thing. So if I made like a public class of these items, I could assign this public class to the dictionary, and it would include like work amount for each resource. It would include work cost. It would include all that stuff. I would have to do a resource actually. Couldn't do a public class because you can't see a public class inside the Godot inspector. You only can see resources. So we would have to do, but that's not a big deal, making a Godot resource. Uh, Otherwise, we would have to save the items built to our county resource, which I guess is not the end of the world. How long are we going to use that number? That number is only going to be used for like 10 seconds. Not even that long. Less than a second. So then after we have this items built, we're going to need another number too. This is going to be. Let's take it one step at a time here, because we're going to need another number for this part. So when this part is shown, we're going to need a number that has it for the player to know how much is going to be built. And it's going to be like the math that's done ahead of time before any work is done, like a hypothetical work amount. This we're going to need to know this. Once at full production, this is, this number we need to know so the player can make an educated guess decision. Leftover work we have on the county resource. We need to definitely have this saved. Work cost leftover? That's not what that should be. Work amount leftover. I guess we'll just stick this all in the county resource for now and see what happens. And then items builds. This whole thing is going to have to be combined and put into like a little part of this. This part is going to have to be put into its own method so that we can use it again for our hypothetical amount of work to generate those other numbers, which we could also put that other number there. So then items built would be, so under county resources, we would put daily, we're going to need two things. Daily, today's amount generated. And then we're going to need not generic, we're going to need something else here. Average amount, daily amount generated. And we could do this math just on that with our brains. Let's build this. And let's look at our test thing here again. Let's make sure this is still here. Okay, it's still here. How is our copying of this crap working? We actually don't have this test in here, I don't think. Whoa, I always do that. I always hit, set a comma, hit semicolon. I don't think that's gonna work. I think we gotta do it this way, because that's a straight up list, but that's a Godot list. So maybe it will work. I'm gonna put a note in here. All right, back to the banker, and I'm gonna take a break in a second here. I gotta blow my nose really bad. This thing should go, items built should now be under the county resource, data, dot, today's amount generated. And then we can copy this thing. And this can go to here. And this is going to go over to here. And then what is this? This can go. What is this? This is amount is less than the work cost. No resource, no good is produced. So this is the part that we needed to say a plus equals, because we needed this to keep adding on to here. And that's how we're going to get our percentage for the progress bar. Our progress bar amount via the work amount left over. It's going to look strange though, because let's build one of these things. So this construction progress is what we're going to be changing. I think we're going to have to like rename this though. If it like produces more than one thing a day, we're going to have to just have it say like 6 a day or whatever. Yesterday's production was 6 or something. I'm going to take a quick break, though. Let me throw out my break timer and pause my music that you guys can't hear. Pause that thing, throw out my break timer. All right, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. And I blew my nose. It only helped a little bit, though, I think. Breathing better. What the fuck? I gotta turn off my break timer. There we go. What are we doing? Let's see if my brain's warmed up yet. All right, I think we'll do these county resources. We're doing the test thing, so that means everything's saved at the county resource level. I guess that's fine. Who gives a shit, right? We can figure it out later. We're gonna rewrite everything for the 100 times after this. So this is gonna be fine for what we want currently. We need to somehow test this to make sure it's working. So let's put in some GD prints. I also had an idea. Let's do this, because when we run this, let's see what, well, let's run it real quick and see if we get any bugs first. Look at that. It's like generating bugs. Is this thing even unpaused? Oh, it is a day 174. You did not restart though. And then we'll deal with the bugs first. Any that appear, that is. County improvement. We gotta do our garden. First. And then the garden is done. A day has passed and we got a bug here. So what do we got? What is this bug? Divide by 0 exception. I think we want these the other way around. If work amount for each resource is less what line did I have a problem with here? Total today's amount generated equals work amount for each resource. I think we're taking that work amount for each resource is being assigned here. Did we do this other math right? I fucked around with a bunch of shit. I don't know if we did. Not there. Workday over. And apply work per person. Generate work amount. This is the problem. County data, county population, current county generate work, so that's going to generate like 10 or 15. And then the county population current improvement daily work amount completed plus or equals the worker amount. Why do we have this other line here? Daily work amount completed. I think we can just go daily work amount completed. We plus equals this shit and then get rid of this thing. Oh, that was some chat GPT thing. I mean, it was probably my bad code in the first place, but all right, so if this is null, it returns this. It should have, though, did I say that? Yeah, it should have, this is way at the bottom here. I don't know what the line number is. I don't know why I put it way at the bottom. Work amount, this should be daily. Daily. We got to do something else here. We got to comment out this other thing. Oh, we're not copying this over either. It's the thing I should have immediately known that was the problem. It's always that. Let's go back up here. Daily work amount completed. What is this big giant gap here? Work amount for each resource. That one I think we're using. Number of goods generated we're not using. So we got to copy this thing down here. This stupid thing. That was here. Daily work amount completed. And then, what was the other one? There was some other thing we used here. Work amount for each resource we got to copy over. Oh, I copied the whole line. County improvement data, work amount for each resource, KD. Get rid of this crap. And let's try this again. We're getting very, very close. Lord Mac, how's it going? You must be up late. Garden filler words. Is that what I was looking for? The term earlier? I was looking for bugs and we got one. We got one. Not really? Oh, is it early? Okay, what did your... Is this the same... The same, error? Error? Attempted to divide by 0. So what are we doing here? Work amount for each resource divided by work cost. Oh. Oh. Early night. Let's see. Work cost. This is the problem. Is... I don't think under our garden here we have a work cost. Oh no, we have work cost 2. I didn't think I put one in there. Man, that's going to be a problem though. Let's see if we make this unique. Work cost needs to be copied over at the county resource data level. Do I have a thing? I don't. I don't think this is copying. Yeah, so we got to get the, someone in chat, it may have been you, I don't remember, said, what about stuff that takes longer than a day? And I was like, shit, I never even thought. Obviously, I was going to have that in there, but I didn't think about how it was going to work. So this is the step of getting that to work, and it shouldn't be that hard, but for some reason I'm struggling here. Attempt to divide by... I'm struggling because my brain isn't fully functioning today. I couldn't fall asleep last night, and I was up till 5 a.m. just laying there. Attempting to divide by 0. Okay, so it's the county resource data. I don't think this is copying. We can do this right up here. Test county resources. So test county resources is greater than... Hey, Joker, how's it going? Test county resources greater, count is greater than 0. So currently there should only be one place. The garden should be the only place that has this. Let's double check though. Yeah, nil. I don't think I'm, going from my terrible memory though. Test. But I have switched this back and forth like 5 times too. Nil. We want to see some nils here. Nil. And then this is the last one we got to look at here. Nil. Okay. I know. I couldn't fall asleep, and then I woke up at noon, and it was weird. And then, like, when I was like half asleep, all comfortable in bed, I was like, I bet you it's fucking noon. I checked my phone and I was like, it is noon. It's gonna suck for tomorrow. Like, streaming is I pretty laid back about my schedule, but tomorrow when I have to get up at 7 a.m., my body is gonna be all fucked up and it's gonna be terrible. I think I gotta set up a bunch of new people in my work too. Uh, yeah. So let's see. Why are we getting this divide by zero? Work amount for each. So I think the problem we're having here is, oh, this is what I was going to do. I had this idea the other day. We want to control H. This is not the other day. This is when I was trying to fall asleep. What happens if we replace all of my GD prints with / GD print? And it will just put them all, it will put them all down. Oh, we're going to have two slashes there. Oh, I'm not replacing though, I don't think. Yeah, let's get rid of all of our, let's see, yeah, some of them are, I don't care though. Let's get rid of all of these. Look at this one, it's an endless, look at this. What, do you think you're done? That's not all of them. Oh, except some of these are rich. Well, I guess I'll do it manually. Really, I wish I slept that deeply. I have like terrible nightmares too. Ever since I quit drinking. Just quit drinking. Just the worst fucking nightmares, man. It's over dumb stuff too. But everything, if I have any good dreams, they start out as good dreams and then they slowly change into a nightmare. I'm like, and sometimes I'm aware that I'm dreaming. I'm like, motherfucker, how is this happening? I want all of my GD prints to be gone, and I want to start from scratch here without filling up the goddamn every single one of them. And then I'm gonna do a new like policy. I'm gonna call it a policy. This didn't really work how I wanted, so. I mean, it kind of works. Except, yeah, just adding more and more of these sometimes. I don't know what my problem is here. I don't remember being so nightmare prone when I was younger. I feel like it's kind of what's going on is because, when you're drunk, you don't usually dream about anything. It's like catching up for 20 years of drinking, and it's like we've kept these nightmares in lockdown. What is going on over here? Oh, this is like a full. Okay. We got a bunch of these. This one, we'll just do this. We'll go end. And keep doing this. All right. We'll probably deal with these messages here too. My brain's still, like I keep saying over and over again today, my brain's mushy. So maybe it's time to deal with those. That's like a good thing. All right, so according to this, we have gotten rid of all of the GD prints. Oh, GD print rich. I saw one fly by. There's another one we missed. Another one. All right, I think we got most of them. All right, let's save this, but let's save all the files because a bunch of files probably got open. Valerian T. I have I have a bunch of tea. I drank tea for a while. I couldn't drink coffee because it was like making me all jittery. And so for like a couple of years, I didn't drink coffee. And so I had a stockpile of like non-caffeinated tea, and I still have a bunch of it. It just really doesn't give you the satisfaction though of like coffee. And so I decided to try again one day. I was like, I gotta try, coffee again, and it didn't make me all jittery. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do up here. We're going to go GD print $ squigs county improvement resource dot name work cost, and we'll just do this, and then we'll squigs. I think it's the copying issue is the problem here. Is it's not copying over that thing. And on Friday night, I couldn't fall asleep either, but it was Friday, and I actually just got up and played video games. I was like, and the two video games I picked, their fucking servers are down. Being on the West Coast kind of has a, because that time works, time zones, they always pick like, in the middle of the night there. Okay, let's see here with our garden, wherever you are. I mean, it could have been my internet too, I guess. There's something that they're doing. What we want to see, look at this, I'm still seeing other things appearing down here. County resource, canned food, work cost 0. County resource, canned food. What? We got a problem in here. One of these things is the wrong. One of these things isn't what it seems to be. It's this right here. Test. This is the one that I thought it was saying it was on this line, but I guess it was. Let's try this again. Like East Coast probably good. Probably Japan has a good time zone, because you're getting all of Asia in there, But Oceania or whatever it's called, not the best. All right, let's try this again. Then we had that one list problem, and we still got this though. Work cost. Why is it doing county resource canned food? Is that what I put in here for our garden? No, it's vegetables. What the fuck? County resource, work cost. For each county resource in the test count, is there some, I double checked, but maybe test county resource. Let's double check again. County inputs, nil. 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 Work cost 0. Maybe it's the other thing that we were doing, because I have switched back and forth on this stupid this stupid thing that I'm working on multiple times here. We shouldn't generate work amount with skill check. What are we doing here? Work amount. Return the work amount. We're not checking any lists here, so that should be fine. Yeah, Hawaii probably wouldn't be very good either. I don't know. It's like 4 hours difference. I don't know how it lines up with like New Zealand and, you know, are they all? New Zealand's in some weird time zone. New Zealand's kind of small too. I don't think. Daily work amount completed is what we're adding to there. Maybe my other shit is wrong. We're in the banker still. And I'm just double checking what we're counting. The current county improvement, the daily work generated. So this should have daily work generated in here somewhere. It's way at the bottom here. We're going back to way at the bottom. Should just do Control N and it will jump down there. So we're going through the completed county improvements. The test resource list is greater than 0. So this is the list of stuff. So it should skip everybody. And the county improvement data max workers is greater than 0. Work amount for each, divide the number for each resource. And it doesn't have a problem with this part, because this is going to be 1. It has a problem with this other part. This is the else. So if work amount for each resource is less than the work cost, so the work cost is 10 and the work amount is 5. The total amount generated, I think these are backwards, like I said a minute ago. Work amount left over. What does ChatGPT's thing say? If work done is less than the cost per item. Oh, I think I'm back. I did it backwards. Work amounts, work cost, work done. If the work amount for each resource, which is what we should have saved up here, work amount for each resource is less than. So that we do want the progress bar eventually. We're not even to that step yet. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do it with, we need this down here. With things that are multiple, like you get 5 a day, like how we're going to do the progress bar. I think we'll get rid of the progress bar and just say like you get 5 a day, because there's no progress. It just gets done every day, you know? What we need here is a $sign and a squigs and county improvement data. We'll put in here work amount for each resource. Work amount for each resource. And then if work amount for each resource is less than, maybe I got some weird math going on. Well, we'll find out here. So you want it to add when there's more work amount, when there's more work amounts. So we need to divide. That's what the if else thing is hopefully doing, when obviously it's not working right here. It could be the resources aren't copying right. And I think that if they're not copying right, they're not actually duplicating. Once again, you know, it's always that problem. Everything's exported this time though, so I can make that a don't click on the X button. Make that a thing. Okay, so work amount for each resource is 0. So that's something's going wrong here. Let's double check that this is copying over. Work amount for each resource. Daily work amount completed. That's copying over. Daily work amount for each resource. Work amount for each resource. So that's not right, though. Because it should have... This thing should have... Oh, wait. The people get assigned, but they haven't done any work yet. I think that's what's happening. The people get assigned, but for that first day, they don't do any work? No, they should. Wait, let's look at this. End of day happens before they get assigned. So the thing's done, and there's a brief period where they don't... That's what it is. The brief period is like, you know, 1 millisecond where they're assigned, but they haven't done any work yet. And that's what this is hitting. It hits the work days over, but the people have been assigned? No, is that right? Let's look at this. See, they all... It says they're all scavenging. Because they haven't been assigned yet. Okay, so that's the problem. So we just need to put in a check here. Where's my banker? We'll just do... And then like the next day... Except this should... Work cost. So the work amount should be 0, and the work cost should be 2, so it should be less than this. Let's see what happens if we put, if county improvements work amount for each resource equals 0, we'll just return. Let's just see what happens here. We'll put a GD print in here. Work amount for each resource is 0 with a big capital 0 there. But yeah, we need to keep track of the amount of work that's done if it doesn't complete if there isn't enough work to complete the thing. Build a county, our thing here. And then we'll let it run. It's completed building. And let's look for 0 on here. Work amount for each resource is 0. I should have put the resource's name in there. Let's let this run for 1 more day. And then let's see cost. Yeah, it never gets past this. Otherwise, we would see the work cost. The word cost would have been there. Yeah, it never gets past this. So it's always returning. I wonder if the county population that it's assigned to is not, because we're pulling it from the person over here. Under the work thing, apply work per person. I wonder if this is some chat GPT shit. I wonder if it's never getting to this part. Uh, someone is working at. We're gonna need a thing over here. We don't need their name, I don't think. Improvement name. What is your problem all of a sudden? No problems. There's a house across the street from my house where supposedly the owner is senile and doesn't remember that they own this house, and so their children cannot uh, sell the house or rent the house, so it's empty. And recently, the cops came and what did I say over here? What did I call this thing? Someone is working. See, it never gets past this thing. It always. This is always null. What day are we on? Day 6. Yeah, this is always null. Or this thing is not working. I was wondering, like, why did it do this is thing? If county improvement is equal to null, then return. I want this to go to here. And see if this happens differently, because they should still be getting applied. They should still be in something, unless something's wildly wrong. Currently adjusted max workers is 0, so maybe there is no one getting assigned to this. When would that have gotten fucked up? We did fuck around with a lot of stuff. So anyways, this house is abandoned basically, and they can't do anything about it because supposedly the person's senile, and then the squatters moved in and the cops came, and my neighbors asked if I wanted to, or if I could join their group text messaging thing, and the reason, so now I'm just getting like tons of text messages from all the neighbors, just whatever. I don't want to be a part of. I just leave me alone. I just want to sit in my house and play video games. Fuck's sake. Okay, that didn't do. So something went. I wonder what happened. We're not getting people assigned to the work. It's weird that this broke. We've been using the same assignment thing forever. Maybe I like commented it out or something. Assign people to find idle, check for construction, check for preferred work. We did mess with this like a while ago. Will people work at a different place? Maybe it's the garden. We did this somewhat recently though, because I was checking the prioritization. That was like last weekend or something. Let's see here. So there's the problem with the term resources is I'm trying to start to use the word goods. Yeah, nobody's getting assigned to work. Quite strange. I commented out something over here. So there's 2 different work amount, number of goods. We got rid of that. Yeah, I would get errors though. So there's in-game resources like Godot resources, and then there's my in-game resources that are like goods. I'm trying to use the term goods now since it's so confusing. There's been an ongoing problem with copying Godot resources. Max amount, max. Daily resource generation amount, daily population at improvements. I guess that's fine. For Godot resources, yeah. And so the Godot resources are these, anything that I put this data at the end of, that's a Godot resource. Uh, so what did I change that would affect this where nobody works anymore? Nobody wants to work. All right, so we go through the county improvements. If this is not equal to done, or this, I think I did change something right here, like this or and I added this check resource full thing. I bet you it's this. But even then, it would get past this. It would go to the next thing. This is just for preferred work. I do remember messing with this a little bit. Yeah. I think I added this stuff in here. This in check resource full thing. I wonder if this is what happened, is it's like checking the resources are full and it's like, nah. And I remember when I put this or and thing in, I was like, wait, is this going to work how I want it to work? Because there's like an or and an and. We could. County resource type is not equal to none. Let's just double check our garden. It's vegetables. If county resource type is not equal to none, this is on the county improvement, or it's checking if it's a storage improvement, or if it's checking if it's a storage improvement, I'm going to comment this out and I'm going to do this. And I bet you there's something wrong right around here. We don't give a shit about the preferred work thing. We can fix it after we fix this other one, because the preferred work's a special test, you know? And I guess I didn't test it after that. I feel like I test everything pretty religiously, but maybe not. Speed this up here. Yeah, no one's getting a sign. Everyone's like, fuck it, we're done with that shit. Check if storage improvement. So that was a new thing as well. So let's comment this out. Okay, so all we're gonna check for is the resource, and we'll see if you know, we start getting bugs, we know we're on the right path. I did fuck around with that, and then I copied it and pasted it for the preferred work thing. Totally remember doing that. And I must not have tested it, I guess. But then we checked prioritize and stuff. We need another data pass here. Yeah, it's still not happening. I bet you the other thing is I bet you I commented something out where I was like, oh, we don't need this. I need this other test to happen or something. All right, let's put that back in there. Let's go back through our list of how this shit works. All right, so on day start, assign people to prioritize improvements. Let's do this. This is still running. What happens if we prioritize this? Are a bunch of people going to get assigned all of a sudden? They are. So that's what I was testing, was checking if the prioritized thing was working. And it works. And there they are. Okay. Okay. So something has gone south with our. So I was checking only prioritized stuff. So this should. Oh, this happens before it finds the idle population. That seems like that's impossible. Get prioritized worker list. Oh no. Okay. Uh, Go through each person in the county, go through everyone, and if they're helpful and loyal, add them to the possible workers list. If they're check loyalty, go through everyone. If they're helpful and loyal, add them to the possible workers list. Okay, so we're in the possible workers list. Maybe we should make these all just like their own little script. Check under construction improvements. So there's some weird shit that happens here. And it assigns it to the county improvement if prioritize equals true. And population and county work is less than max workers. So that assigns there. And then, okay, so this checks the under construction ones first. And then we check for finishing. It's been constructing stuff. It builds the stuff. It hasn't been assigning them to work there, though. The building has been working, even unprioritized. Let's double check. One of these has like a much higher cost, I think. Here we go. It's this lumberjack station. One day. Only 2 people. It's going to take a fucking eternity. But they are assigned there. So we know the construction part is working. I guess we'll let this run and I'll drink some coffee. I'll just kick back. That's what I wanted to do anyways today since I'm half asleep. And we're just waiting for a little thing to appear here. We can check the progress though. 25%. That's going to take an eternity. Keep going there. Look at this. Look at how many of these things. Supposedly it went through and we got rid of all the GD prints, but that's not true. I mean, I guess it could be, but it's not that true. Maybe I should just let it run and go have a smoke or something. 58%. I guess we didn't need to do this one so dramatically. Here, we can do another one. This will only take 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah, and then there's nobody here. So something... But it works with the construction, so we can double check. So it's checking for the prioritize. I don't think this is actually, I think it's that thing where so it finds the idle population, it checks for construction, and we know that that's working, and then it checks for preferred work. What is, let's look at this construction though. Assign workers. Oh, it just looks at a list. It's like, hey, if there's anything in this list, just assign them to assign the worker. And then it goes through this status thing, and it does some shit. And it has this remaining slots, etc., etc. Remove workers from possible workers list because it's taking them from so it gets all the idle workers. After the prioritizing thing, remove from county improvements, update their activity, update their work location, and remove workers to remove from this, and it removes the workers from here. There shouldn't be a clear. This is okay. That's right. I think. Then we go to the preferred work thing. completed county improvements. For each county improvement in the completed ones, if this is not to set to none, and then we have these weird storage things up here, already checked. If the preferred skill, I mean, generally these preferred things, let's go down to the next one though. I'm wondering if our possible workers list is getting fucked up because we fucked with it up at the top. We should be generating it in the idle spot. Check for idle workers or whatever it's called. So let's do this. Check for any work. GD print possible workers list counts. And then we'll just add in here. Possible workers dot count. And I think I'm gonna put like real errors that I want to stick around, like put like GD print error or something. Garden is fast. So it's been completed, a day has passed. Okay, so we have people are assigned in the possible workers list when we hit this part. So then let's do GD print. I have a feeling it's something to do with this. If this is not equal to none. Not equal to none. I have a feeling it's one of these things. Wait, if it's not equal to none, it will never get past this. If this is equal to none, if the county resource type is equal to none, or this thing, get the fuck out of here. Is that it right there? What was I in? Any work, I hope. I hope any work. Okay, garden. I wonder if I change that. I probably changed around how this shit worked, you know, thinking get out of there. Oh, look, now we have an error. What is it? Is it this divide by zero bullshit again? It is. Is anybody getting assigned to? Okay, so people are getting assigned again. Let's go back up here to our preferred work. If this is equal to... If this is equal to none, yeah, I must have... You know, I did. I copied and pasted these things, and I must have changed that. If the county resource is equal to none, or that, then return. But I just put in the banker here. Work amount for each resource is 0. If the work amount is 0, 0, we have 0 zeros. I don't think this is case sensitive. We have 0 zeros. So let's say work cost. There it is, and it still says canned food. Where the fuck is it getting this canned food from? So there's got to be in here somewhere that other list, because I switched them back and forth a bunch of times. Is it down here? work amount for each resource, work cost. Well, there was something I messed with where it was producing. It was the Fisher shed was producing canned good just for the fuck of it. I don't know. It's right here. It's got to be this county input goods is being referenced somewhere. County output. What the fuck? No, it's over here. This thing. Make sure that that's right. Add storage. What is this in? County improvement. What are we doing here? Generate output goods. That's fine. We don't give a shit about that. Not yet. Let's look at vegetables. It says vegetables. What the flying fuck? County resource, canned goods, work cost 0. Null. Output 0, 0. Null. We're not checking the faction ones yet. Null 0, 0, 0. This one is the only one we're trying to check, and it says vegetables. Output fish. It's these are all nil. What happens if it's something weird like this isn't actually building correctly? What happens if it's something weird like that's not saved? It's so weird that it's saying that it's canned goods. This is work cost, county resource. Okay. That, let's find that. Work cost. For each county resource and county improvements, test county resource. So now it's getting past this because the work amount, because we didn't see any zeros in here, even though we probably, yeah, so it's getting past that part. And then it's saying this work cost was 0 in the county resource name. So there's, where the fuck is it getting this canned goods shit? I'm looking here. All right, man. Thank you for dropping by. Have a good night. Trying to think if there's another spot. So these things are being copied. Test county resource list. We add it over here. I think. And this is a Godot array, right? I mean, it's not even close to where the canned goods is like in a whole different section. Like, you know, alphabetically, canned goods is 0. Okay, so if canned goods is 0, I have a feeling that that means that how is this working here? There's something dumb going on. Work amount, so it gets past that. Is greater than 0. Work amount for each resource. Work amount for each resource is 55. So we know that that's working, and that seems like about the right note. Right? Well, um, work cost. So it's not, this is not happening, which is because otherwise we would see the 0 here. So we know that that isn't happening. So it makes it past that. And then we get to this work cost, and it has a different county resource data name. So it's acting like there's one, or maybe we're assigning something to this somewhere besides the drag and drop thing. Maybe it doesn't like, maybe it's not sticking. So if it was not sticking, because we're doing this copy here, and maybe this isn't actually duplicating, but it would. All right, we double check this test thing like 60 times. We've done this like 60 times. We double check the outputs, but let's check one more time. It's almost like this thing isn't like this isn't updating, right? Like it isn't matching. Test. Here's our 1. Its size is 1. Its county resource is vegetables. Can we? That's a good idea. Can we look at this? Let's move this. That's not going to tell us anything. Because it's not a, I mean, I guess we could open this up and we can go to this. Because this is all in the background. This is happening at the beginning of the day. We could look, though, at our current county improvements and see what we can see in here. Here's the 1. Here's our garden. It's vegetables. What about, I have an idea. What about if it's like the AI is triggering this? It's building something. It's doing something. And we just haven't gotten to ours. It's slamming into, it's building some canned goods or some shit. Or something like that. It wouldn't even know to assign this thing, though. It wouldn't know to assign this thing. But let's put this in here anyways. Like we aren't using this test resource thing anywhere but here. I keep thinking that I'm going to see that it's the output goods because somewhere we do have, okay, let's do this. We could do this too. Let's delete any output goods. Well, we can't do that. Wood and fish. we don't have any here. We did do like a test there. County output 0. 0. Wait. Yeah, this is research at the faction level. We don't have canned goods being generated anywhere. um, let's put this in here. We know. What do we know? What more information can we put here? Right here. We know the county resource data name. We know the county improvement name. That's a good thing that we can put here. Let's save this, and then let's see what county improvement it thinks it's being built. Maybe it's accessing some weird lists, and I don't know. Garden. You know what we also could do is build something else and see if we still get that error. Like build, because it doesn't have an output good, so it shouldn't be checking that shit at all. That's been finished being completed. We got the bug. And Fisher's Shed. Resource output good. There is not a resource, there is not a Fisher's Shed that we're building, but it's the computer could be building this, but it shouldn't be accessing, once again, it shouldn't be accessing that list. It shouldn't go through it should never get to here because it's like, hey, if this list is greater than 0, completed. So it's going through this completed thing. And if the test resource is, and this is an and, so it has to be both. So it's the else on here. There is no else. County work, county improvement, daily, county improvements. Swipe the cheeks. What? All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Work amount for each resource. It's got to be right in front of my face. There's like a typo or some other that one list, but none of the outputs. I wonder if we have the faction. What faction is building this? I don't think we do. I mean, I guess it should be in this list down here. I don't think faction is in it. Faction resource? No. We're not checking faction resources for this test either. We don't, the county, so maybe, I don't know. All right, I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw my break timer. Let me pause my music you can't hear and I'll be right back. All right. I have a feeling it's something like the resources aren't copying or something right like that. Let me turn off my break timer. Uh, but it shouldn't be checking. You know, it's always when I'm not copying something right down here. It's always that. And I'm not 100% sure this is duplicating, but if it came out to null, I think I've done this before too, where I've been like, is null not the thing we're checking for? If the count is greater than 0, does null count? I don't think I can put a question mark here. Oh, I can. Let's try that. Man, I have a headache. I should take some drugs. Some Advil right here. My sleep's so fucked up that it's throwing everything else off. My neighbor's about to start power drilling and shit. Let's go over here. Go to, what happens if we build something else? What happens if we build a fisher's shed? It's been completed, and then we get that thing. Oh, now we have 2 of them. Oh no, it's just because time's passing. I wonder if we could find out somehow where this is happening. Someone is working in an improvement. Yeah, so it's really trying this fisher shed, but there's nothing here. It must be, so it's checking there's nothing in this outputs. It thinks that there's nothing here at all. So there must be, where is the thing that's dividing by 0? Let's see what it's doing. It's this one. County resource data. Today's amount generated. Work cost. What if we put... But there's nothing here. It's got to be that there's like a list is the wrong list or something. This is what we get for switching back and forth on those tests. Does it say which thing it thinks? Let's copy this error. Is 0? I don't think it does, but... it doesn't tell us. So up here, work amount for each resource. It's hitting this else. So for this one, oh wait, I have 2 ifs in here. Okay, so this would return it, but it's going for this one. It's printing this here at the top, which is what we were wanting, and this is the one where it says it's a fisher's shed. There shouldn't be anything on a fisher's shed. So let's think about how this is happening. It's one of the AI things is making a fisher's shed because there's not enough food. And so that's how it's supposed to operate. But it shouldn't make it. And so it goes through the completed list, and it's like, hey, if this test resource count is greater than 0, it shouldn't. County improvement data, improvement name, this whole thing. Maybe this should be or. Well, let's do this first, but what do we got going here? We need a word in here so it's easy to search. Improvements. Improvements. Test count. Did I turn on my break timer? I did. Or, I think that should be or, though, now that I think about it. Actually, it doesn't seem like we need to build anything. I should have just left that. We didn't pause it. Pause. Why the fuck is there one there? Let's look at this though. So if the test count is greater than 0, so it thinks there's one there, and the max workers, so the workers are being assigned. Let's go through, because it's got to be looking at the wrong list. That's the only thing I can think of. Test county resource list. Test county resource list. Maybe we're assigning a thing to this? It's some test I did? I know, I'm just gonna keep repeating that. Okay, there's definitely nothing here. So, and it thinks that it definitely thinks that, it says right here, it thinks that there's something in here, and there's not. So I wonder if this is a Godot bug. I did assign something there, I think, briefly a long time ago. Let's go to our county improvement Fisher shed here. There it is. So this is a Godot bug. It didn't say, it's been saving this. Even though we checked this like 40 times, it's still here. We're not gonna build anything, we're just gonna let it run and see if deleting that did anything. I must have put like a test canned goods in there at some point. Or maybe it did need us to build something. Let's do the garden here. Let it fly here for a second. All right, we would have hit that bug by now. So that was the problem, is that this thing wasn't reflecting correctly. It wasn't, somehow this thing, I don't remember when I deleted that, a couple days ago? Yesterday, I mean? And so the 0 that we were getting is the work cost. Wow, that's a pretty brutal bug. And it's weird that it fixed it after I restarted. This is the dev branch. So that's like, so that we were having this conversation the other day. I can't remember if we did it while I was streaming or if I was offline. I think I was talking about on Discord, on my Discord. So there was a person who was kind of upset that they released Dev 2 that was so incredibly broken, and I kind of agree that the guy had a point of how upset he was, because it's like, man, you should have pulled that shit, and they also should have tested a little bit. Like, if you can't even build stuff, then you didn't do any testing at all. Um, but this one, I totally could see. That's like, I'm on the dev branch. It's totally understandable that you wouldn't notice this thing, because I didn't notice for a long time. So now, what do we do? uh, is there a new dev branch? I didn't even look. Let's see. This is why I don't like to use the dev branch unless I have to. But I was so excited about the dictionary. There's no new one. Where's dev 3? There it is. Okay, well, so that was a weird bug. We definitely checked this 100 times, right? So back to what we were doing. But that made me start thinking about something else too. So I guess it all works out in the end, right? Back to the banker here. And we have, this thing's been running for a while. We have people working here, so that issue is solved. What about our other things? Let's do another search for GD print to get these things out of here. Apply work per person. Someone is working at, I don't think we need that one anymore. That one we still need for a second here. We don't need this. We don't need this. Maybe we just had a weird start this morning. I was running, oh, I guess I finished it. I do that SFC scan now all the time on my computer because it's a piece of shit. And it often finds things. We don't need that. But it also, when I was searching for GD print earlier, it wasn't finding everything. Check for any work. We don't need that. Do dragonflies, do they glow? Or do they just reflect? They're just shiny reflection things, aren't they? Those other things. Those other, what are the, fireflies? Grave of the Fireflies. What I had to think there for the name. This is also not searching everything. Create list of, we don't need this one. Or we're just going in like a circle every time I, wait, yep, here's some stuff. Subtract faction resources. This is all going to change. All of this stuff's going to change. I just need less GD prints here. There's too many console things. It's probably slowing the fucking game down. And I do need to like I said, be more, like put a word, like when it's a real GD print that I'm leaving in the game, like put in there like error warning or something, and maybe color code it. Like this one. That one we're gonna leave actually. That's for the map editor. air or push air. Yeah, I don't know. I can't decide if I want it to actually like air in the console or if I just want to, like the word air so I can search for it. Yeah, we don't need like 90% of this shit. 99% of it. This is all for old testing stuff. Random player moves. We're finally getting into the things that no suitable food building found. No, we'll get rid of that. We'll know later what the things that we really want to keep at some point. We're gonna get rid of this thing. Getting close. Feel it. Yeah, like this thing is just like filling up with garbage. This is a file thing. It's not the end of the world. You are so fucked. It's gonna be so many, man. Is it keeping count? No, I wish it was keeping count somewhere where it's just like keeping count of the number of these things. There's probably some sort of like word count. Whoop, no, I missed one. We definitely don't need this right now. Man, I can hear the rain outside. Though, like I always say that like my tin roof or whatever it's called sounds so much louder than it really is. My cat's outside. He's probably freaking out. He does not like rain, because he's a cat. And oh wait, there's another GD print right there. I missed it. He's not gonna go outside. Oh, there, we're back to it. Jesus Christ. And then we'll save all, and then we'll close a bunch of these shits when we get this done here. I bet you we have 4 rows by the time we're done. I've been meaning to do this for a while because it's like the other day it ran for a while I was talking and it had 20,000 print console logs. I'm an IT manager in real life. And that's part of like the problem with when you try to look at stuff, you try to figure out what's going on in your network or whatever. You have so many logs that you got to sort through. There's programs just for that because you have so many logs and things. You're looking at your firewall log, and it's just filled with garbage. And there's some programs are definitely superior to others for searching, filtering, and we're getting there. Yeah, we are to 4. We are to 4 lines of stuff here. There's a point where I'm going to give up, though. When we get to 5 lines, I'm going to give up. And we'll continue with just the... I guess I could search for the words that are left over. But we're getting close. Wireshark, if you're into IT stuff, look at Wireshark. It's crazy. It's a great program that like looks at your network and grab a bunch of stuff. You can like recreate what's going on, sort of. I had to use it once for a critical thing. I forget what the issue was, and I had never used it before. It was intense. I don't know if it's still good, though, because that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I assume it's still good. You only have bee sharks, not wire ones? It's one of those things where once you've used it, you're like, man, networks aren't that secure. You suddenly know why people are worried about like man-in-the-middle attacks and shit. What's going on? I should probably leave these ones. These are legitimate ones here, but we're gonna do it anyways. Like, these are very important ones. We'll come back once we'll at some point here. Why is my IT guy always flipping out about security? It's because he ran Wireshark one day and saw how the internet is very open to exploitation. Started him thinking, and while he was reading your emails, occasionally I get that question in my job too. Like, do you ever read my emails? And I'm like, I don't have time for that shit, but I could. Like, if that's your question, is can I? Yes, absolutely. Obviously, only the work ones. May I? All right, where are we at? We're back to the player canvas. Did we already do these? I don't know. Nope. Leader recruited. Probably, a lot of this stuff should also be converted. Like, whoa, there went one. To print to the screen so that the player knows, but I don't want to blast the player with alerts. We're on 5 lines. I said I was going to give up at 5. Did I say 5 or 6? All right, I think we got a few more. I think I'm going to give up here. I think it's 7. All right, let's save this stuff, and we probably have cleared this out to a significant amount. Save all. And then we'll just like, look at this. Look at this. It's going to make it seem like I did like a ton of work. Like a ridiculous amount of work. You know what I'm going to do? Oh my God, what is it doing? It's freaking out. There we go. It was saving all. I'm going to close all, which I guess isn't an option. Because otherwise I'm going to have to go through and click these things. And I don't want, I'm too lazy to do that shit. I guess I can do it like this. Here we go. That's not too bad. It's kind of bad. It kind of sucks. How about up here? County dictator? We don't need this crap. Whoop. I don't know what I just clicked. It's gone though. Local maps. Right click a tab and close all. Can you do that? All right, here we go. We'll just blast them all the fuck out of here. Okay. Now I forgot what we were doing. That was a good way to blow 20 minutes though. Let's go to our county improvements. We know that our county improvement thing is what we're gonna need here. This one definitely. Did the here's the throbber. What were they calling it? I saw a video. They were calling it something. They weren't calling it a throbber. They were calling it something else. Um, God, what was it? The little spinny thing. Okay, so back to what we were gonna do here. This is not where we were at though. We were in the banker. So let's look at the banker here. Neither of these things need to be pinned, so we're okay there. Apply work per person, that was done. This other thing's at the bottom here, so I just jump down to this. This should go through the list of completed county improvements to do the math to generate the goods they generate. So this is going to go through the completed. It's going to do this improvement test count, improvements test. I'm going to county resource list count, and then work amount for each resource. And that's actually just run this and see if we can get like the only thing that should be producing anything this way with our test is the county or is the garden. Everything else should not be producing anything. But you know what we should do is double check that the garden, I bet you the garden thing didn't stick because I put that later after that thing. Garden. Okay, the garden did stick, and this one is unique. Got some interesting colors here. And then we're gonna do that. We're gonna have this thing work. Let's check the people. People are working there. All right. So improvement test resource, Fisher shed. So this is the AI built some Fisher sheds because they're out of food. Work amount for each resource. Improvement work cost is 2. There's one thing on the garden list. Work amount for each resource. So this is going to be like a kind of varied number because you can get skill checks and you get bonuses. So that's kind of feels right. We have 8 people working there. So in this role, they didn't get any, they all failed their skill check. This role, they must have gotten, 3 people must have gotten their bonus. So the other thing we need to check now that this is working is we need to see today's amount generated. So at the end of this, for each one of these, we're going to go GD print, $, county squigs, county improvement, data, improvement name, god damn it, improvement name, improvement name, and we're going to say generated today, and then we're gonna go this county resource data. That isn't workday total amount generated. Where's it getting this county resource data? This is for each one. Okay. So this should be, if the work cost is 2, and they produced 80 work, we should see this should be like around 40 each time we run that. It should be around 40 because we're going to have this, the bonuses will be in there. If my math is correct. So around 40 is what we're looking for. And, probably higher than that, actually. Unless we have some bad skill checks and bad skills. Okay, so we got 40. Improvement Garden, they only generated 30 their first day. Did I not save this shit? Today's amount generated. um, Calculate the number of 42, 30. Work amount for each resource was 60. I bet you there weren't that many people working there, and then like the next day, more people work there. Why would that happen? So they could have failed a loyalty check, I suppose, to not work there. Uh, let's run that again and see if that's like a common thing that keeps happening. Because so 60 would mean that like 6 or less people work there. Not actually. It could, yeah, 6 or less. And I'm not sure why that would have happened. So here, after this runs for 1 day. Okay, so that was just probably there was some loyalty checks that didn't pass. So the work amount for each resource was 110. They made 55. The next day, let's count this. I think there's a problem here. We're on day 2. Let's restart this. I think we got a problem here. I think it's calculating their shits too soon. I think I'm going to call it a day after this, though. County improvements, garden. So on this day, so the beginning of the first day, there should be nothing, which there is nothing. So day 1, and then day 2, or 1 a.m. Okay, so what could be happening, and that would make sense why some of these are off, is that there's another garden being built somewhere. Improvement test list, there's a garden. We really need to know where this garden's being built. Because it looks to me like they're building Fisher's sheds, which is the AI is, which is right. But there's 2. It would also account for like one of these. Yeah, we really need to know where this thing is being built. We have calculate work to goods. We're passing in a county data. We are? What the fuck are we doing that for? Are we using that anywhere? We are. We're getting it from the list. Perfect. So back down here, we can just go, because otherwise we got something else wrong. Whoops. The hell was, oh, I hit space. County data dot county name. And we'll just put a space there, and then we'll have a where this county is being, or where this shit's being. And if it's in 2 different spots, it's fine. But if it's the same spot, then we got a problem with something is going wrong, where it's either hitting it twice, which is possible, because it does do, now it shouldn't, but, you know, it's possible. Anything's fucking possible at this point. I should have closed Godot and reopened it earlier, instead of wasting an hour. All right, so there's our first thing. This is completed and there's 9 people working there. So day 1. Douglas. Douglas. Douglas is making it. Where's Douglas? Are you Douglas? No. Douglas over here has 9 people. That's a lot of people for you. All these, there's a lot of people everywhere. I must have adjusted that. Usually there's like 3 people here. We can't look at this because this is not our county, but that's fine. So, okay, so Douglas has it happen. I don't know why the fuck they're building a garden, but they are for some reason. I don't remember how I'm doing the check, but they're building a garden. Wonder why they're not doing a fisher's shed. But then they had, so Douglas had generated 47, so they have something else going on there too. We might have a thing where it kind of checks. I don't remember. I'm going to put that on my list here. Check why Douglas is building a garden and not a fisher's shed. Let's convert this to an issue. We'll put this at the top. This will be for next weekend. I'm probably going to take Friday off. I've been taking many Fridays off here because I have too much vacation time, so maybe I'll stream on Friday too. It's been nice to like just have a complete day off here. Let's run this again and see if it's always Douglas. Let's not build anything and see if Douglas does it, because it could be something else. Let's see if Douglas produces something on day 2. Douglas does. Yeah, I wonder why see, these other places are doing this. All right, so let's rethink. I'm going to call it a day like in 2 seconds, but let's rethink this whole thing. So we need to open up a couple of things here. Well, we actually can look at it this way, and I think it will be, yeah, so if we look at it this way, what we would do, we would have to make this unique, and then we hold all of this information here. I'm kind of tempted to make this just like another resource that we apply to here. This works for now, but I have a feeling that this is not the best way to do it. So there's a couple of options that we can do. We can either have a dictionary with a resource inside where it's linked by county resource data. That's why this is a test resource thing. Where we have some sort of production resource and it's assigned here. And then like we fill in this information. Obviously work cost of 2 is too little, but we would have this assigned to here, or we just keep it on the county resource data for now. And then we just got to make sure that this is actually a copy of this county resource data. It's not saving this. This isn't applying to everyone. I don't think it is because we're seeing these different numbers, but I guess it could be, and it's just overriding them. And I don't think we can look at stuff on the remote. Let's take a look here though, real quick. Under factions, we have a faction data. Yeah, I don't think we can look right now, but we're gonna have to change this too when we try to save stuff, because we're gonna need to have everything exported. But all right, I am done for the day. Let's push this code. It makes it look like I changed so much stuff. But I'm going to say commented out a bunch of GD prints. And work amount is work amount / cost is working for goods that more than one is generated a day. So we know that that's working, but now we got to test the other direction, which is where we So next time we'll and in fact I'll put that at the first thing on our list here. Test goods produced that cost more than 1 day of work amount. So like scouting equipment. We're getting close. We're getting close here. And then we'll do an export and there'll be all sorts of issues and then that will take 6 months to fix. But this is I'm actually getting very close here. For this section, for this branch, and that's the whole thing. Is I want to once scouting equipment's working. Oh, there's a whole other part of it we got to do with scouting equipment though. You know what we'll probably do is we will, once this is done, we'll have, because we need to add an inventory to the heroes where they can assign the scouting equipment. That's why we did scouting equipment next as a complicated good, is because it also applies to heroes. And then on heroes, we can have, once we have scouting, we don't need the scouting equipment, but we will. Once we have that, we can have the heroes start exploring the county, and that's a whole nother thing. So I'm looking forward to this shit. Did I push this or did I just type it in there? I did push it. Okay. Successfully pushed. Perfect. That is it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me. Sorry for starting so late. I don't know. Just slept in a bunch. All right. Talk to you later.